Okay, so Power Rangers Cosmic Fury Episode 4. This episode saw the Rangers going to the planet Levia to find Zato, and what they encounter here is none other than Ollie, who had been tracking him down. Now, we do see Mick in this episode, but he doesn't really morph because Ollie's quick to stop that, but we also are introduced to Ollie's generals in this episode, and as soon as they're introduced, they're pretty much gone as a cannon fodder for the Rangers and their brand new powers, which seeing these suits in action is really freaking cool. Like I said, mixed opinions on the suits, but seeing them move around and stuff like that, they are really cool seeing them fight and in motion, and we get to see the Rangers and their weapons move about. Now, the Cosmic Orbs. I didn't talk about the Cosmic Orbs in my last review. They look like Bakugans. They look like freaking Bakugans, in my opinion. Now, this episode, they were on this planet after they defeat Ollie's generals, and they're trying to find Zato, and we soon find out that the planet, or the forest, is alive. It's all one big hive mind, as we get to see Amelia and Ion using their Rafconian powers to sort of read the planet's mind and find what the heck happened to Zato, which we find out that when Zato crash landed on this planet, which we get to see his suit pretty banged up, he was almost close to dying when he landed on this planet, but he found this glowing tree, and the glowing tree rescued him. They sort of absorbed him, and they kept him safe and healed most of his injuries. But we'll get to that Zato bit in a minute, because Ollie and Amelia and the Rangers have a square off where Ollie is mad at Amelia and says that red doesn't suit her, which is kind of funny because of all the online discourse with the whole Amelia stuff going on. So that was kind of funny, like, even though that this was filmed while the online discourse was going on, or even before that, like Ollie's like saying, oh, red doesn't suit you, or you shouldn't be a Red Ranger and stuff like that. That was like low-key inside joke, kind of funny, but Ollie was unable to defeat the Rangers as they were having their little face-off against each other, which was cool to see, because, like, Ollie gets smacked around. He thinks that he needs to use teamwork to defeat the Rangers, because, you know, Zed does say to him in this episode, you still think like a Ranger. The only thing you need to think for is yourself. And I feel like that's going to be Lord Zed's downfall, because he tells Ollie to only look out for himself, and I'm sure that Ollie's going to take that into accountability, or take that into account, and probably end up betraying Zed or doing something where Ollie says, you taught me to only think about myself, and then he's going to probably do something to betray him. But in this episode, we also see Lord Zed setting up his base on Eltar, which is something we found out through one of the press releases. Unfortunately, it's not Eltar in the comics, because, you know, in the comics, Lord Zed is from Eltar, but the show and the comics are two totally different continuities. But I do hope that we see what Eltar looks like in Cosmic Fury. Like, we sort of see the planet from, like, the outside, and Lord Zed sort of squid drills hovering above it as they're going to destroy the planet, which should be interesting moving forward. But I do wonder if we're going to see what Eltar looks like in show form. We've seen what it looks like in the comics. I'm wondering if we're going to see what it looks like in show form. So Ollie and Amelia Amelia and Ion read the planet's mind, and they sort of tell the planet that they're the good guys and Ollie's the bad guys, and they end up getting into a fight with Ollie in the Zord, but Ollie once again escapes before the sort of squid drill is destroyed, so he gets out of there real quickly. While this is going on, you've got Ion, who ends up finding Zato inside of the tree, and Zato, he's alive and well, but you find out that he can't use some of his Rafconian powers ever since the Morphin Masters brought him back to life. And then we get this other vague hint of something that might happen to Zato later down the line as the show goes on, where the planet or the tree says to Zato, saying, hey, enjoy what little time you have left. And Zato is sort of quick to shake it off by saying, oh, maybe they mean enjoy whatever time you have left on this planet. And Ion's like, nah, fam, that could mean something totally different. So Ion's sort of catching on to something's up with Zato, and he probably doesn't have a lot of time left ever since he was resurrected. And the Morphin Masters were the one that gave him the name Zenith, or Zenith, however you want to pronounce it. Tomato, tomato. So Zenith, I made a whole video of what that means ages ago, probably before I'll even find out what it actually means moving forward, but it looks like Zato probably doesn't have a lot of time left on this planet. And overall, this was another pretty fun episode. Like I said, it was one solid adventure. You didn't really cut to the B plot, you didn't really cut to any comic relief, it was just the Rangers and some action. Now, Ollie gets a brand new suit in this episode. I should have brought that up earlier. Ollie's brand new suit. Why am I not talking about it? Well, I was spoiled for it like 2 days before the show actually aired. And it's just a kit bash of sort of the Dino key armor, like spray painted black, and then it's sort of got the Lord Zed squid belt on it. So it's just like a small upgrade. It looks really cool, like really cool and menacing. I'm glad that Ollie got a brand new suit design when he joined Lord Zed's side, which is cool to see. But overall, it's a kit bash, looks really well. I think it flows really well together with the action, and I feel like I understand what they were trying to do with it when they gave him the brand new suit. But I feel like with this episode's ending, as it ends on that weird note, not the Lord Zed giving a speech to Ollie, the Zato thing, I am wondering where that's going to go, and I do wonder what's going to happen to Zato in the end. Will he die? That is the big question on my mind right now as I'm recording this review and watching episode 4 and jumping into episode 5. Something might happen to Zato later down the line. He's using the Morphin Master Staff as a weapon, which is pretty cool, and seeing his Zenith suit is really cool to see in action as well. Seeing the sort of champagne, the beige color with it, I really do like that suit design. But overall, pretty good episode. I enjoyed it. One solid adventure. And with that said, let's end this video and jump into the next episode of Cosmic Fury.